Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep, welcome back to the map editor, and welcome back to this map that we have been making. We have some shipwrecks, we have some offshore islands, little rocky boys there, we have the forest, we have some fallen trees, and we have what we were working on last time, these little rock vignettes with the trees and the low-lying scrub that goes inside our forest. It kind of decorates the forest floor where we were focusing on height, and now we were focusing on stuff that the player is going to run and jump over, and it looks pretty good. So if we go up and away in our magical balloon, no, that's the Prodigy. Anyway, we have definitely a feel over one side of the island. We have a lot of rock stacks, rock towers here, and then this side of the island where we haven't really done anything. This is still the base island that we started with. It's very sandy, very flat, and it has a definite distinctive feel, the two sides of the island. So I was thinking we could probably just carry on with that theme from the forest, maybe have another little area of deciduous trees, maybe some scrub, some shrubbery, and kind of do what we've done elsewhere and just kind of fence it in, give it a little bit of a frame. So when the player is running around the outside of the island, it doesn't feel like they're just surrounded by cold ocean, because that's what they are surrounded by. I'm just looking at this little nub, this little pyramid of land. That's just one of the little nodes that happens to be well, it's how the island mesh is made up. It's how any 3D mesh is made up. Little triangles. We can sort that out momentarily. If you're joining us for the first time, we are using these controls to look around in the map editor. We're using W to go forward, S to go back, A to go left, D to go right, U to go down, E to go up. We hold the right mouse button and just pan the camera around. If we go into objects, we can click on an object. We can press R to rotate, E to transform, and if we're looking away from it, we can press F to focus, because that is sometimes super useful. The camera speed is one of the things that is not controlled by us. The closer we get to an object, the slower the camera gets, and the further away we get to an object, the faster it gets, which leads to some interesting behavior, especially when the camera decides to jerk around or just shoot off to the edge of the map. Have fun with that. We always do. There is no undo. There's no Control Z. So, you know, be a little bit careful of what you are doing in the map editor. Also, if we wanted to get rid of an item, delete would delete it. But no, we'd like that tree to stay where it is. So, terrain and objects. We're going to click on terrain. I'm going to use the smoothing brush first of all, remembering that this mount slider is inherited between all our brushes. If we were to click now with the raise brush, this super huge raise brush, we would raise a column straight to the heavens, because this mount slider not only is super sensitive, but yeah, it's one of those things. It bothers me. It bothers me. So we're going to change the mount slider down. We're going to change the size slider down even. Whoa. Change the mount slider up, because this is the smooth tool. This is the smooth tool. And we're just going to paint along here and get rid of those little triangular bits, because while we see them, we may as well deal with them. Otherwise, well, there you go. Oop, it's kind of gone. The little pyramid boy's gone. So that's excellent. Good. We are going to hit. What are we going to hit here? Set height. I think so. I think we need to pull this out a little bit. So we're going to hit set height. We're going to read terrain paint height, this button at the bottom. We're going to click on the dry sand there. Boop. We're going to make sure we've got a soft brush selected. The amount slider, which is inherited, again, comes all the way down. We've got a nice big brush, and then we're just going to paint out under the ocean. The trouble with the water mesh is that the island over there, we can see the blue of our brush. We can't see it through the water mesh, but if we go underneath the water, then we can. It's kind of just one of those things that kind of blocks you ocularly. We could turn the ocean off and just paint out if we would so wish. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave the ocean on, because I kind of want to see when the sand starts breaching the surface. So make sure we do have the set height brush selected, because that is a fun one of always, and then just brush out this way and brush in a little bit. I just want a little bit of a peninsula thing going on, and then there you go, brush it out and out and out. Unfortunately, it gets very steep here. Look, But we can use that to our advantage just by not fully raising the land up to the height of the peninsula. But because we've got the brush set to a fairly low amount, it's going to act very slowly. So push and hold and just bring everything up a little bit underwater. It doesn't really matter if the underwater terrain is that smooth, because the game is going to put coral and rocks and things down here anyway, so it's not a problem. It just means that if the player decides to leap off the end of the peninsula, they're not suddenly in deep water, because that, it could be a problem. Smooth tool, nice soft brush again. It's like, why did you use all the other brushes? What, the square brush? Where in nature do you see squares? I mean, you see hexagons, and you see pentagons, and you see all the other gons, but you don't really see squares in nature. Well, bismuth, I guess, is squarey. And then you've got the weird sort of lab experiment. I don't know why you would do that. And then you've got the kibble. You've got the petri dish. You've got all these other weird shapes. I mean, you could create an alien landscape if you wanted, but the soft brush is the best brush, in my opinion. And it's the brush that you would use if you were in Photoshop. So, we're going to use the smoothing tool, and we're going to crank that up, because the smoothing tool likes it to be cranked up, and then we're going to just brush around the outside, getting rid of some of these, like, jaggedy edgy boys. There we go. And then just make sure to brush underwater, just kind of where nobody can see. There we are. I'm just gonna select it. For some reason the brush still appears even if you have the settings menu open, so push and hold, just brush underwater, making sure you did click on the right brush, because otherwise that would get painful. Now crank the amount all the way up. Well, not all the way up, but enough so that, you know, you can kind of see it having an effect on the area, so that should be nice and smooth now. It is! Excellent! Right, good. We still have some water and things around here. Don't mind the shadow layer, because that goes funny when you turn the water layer off. You can't really see it, but it's very close to the actual ocean. We can change the time of day. Changes the tide. And I think really hard to see because it's night, but almost the entire peninsula up to here suddenly becomes underwater. Right, good to know. And then at low tide, the entire thing is uncovered. Excellent, good. We're gonna hit objects, hit rocks, take a big rock. I like you. I think we could be friends. Good. So we have objects selected. Oh no, this little buggy boy. Terrain objects. Ah. Yeah, hang on a second. There's a way of doing this and I can't remember how to do it. Ah, there we are. Ah. So sometimes you're in a situation where these two buttons at the top are just not selected, and I can't quite remember what the scenario is that sometimes gets you to that situation where you can click on an object and then you don't get this sort of XYZ axis appear. And I'm like, it happens so often when I do a video, and I'm like, I can't quite remember. But yeah, just click on either of these two buttons at the top, because for some reason F won't work, R and T won't work either. But once you have it appear, then you know the shortcut keys do work. Why? I don't know. I didn't program the game, I'm sorry. But we can kind of see that the sand is wet here, so this is going to act as a marker for us and the world as a whole. Good. That is good. I mean, we can kind of see where the tide is going to come in. The end of this area is wet. It has that sort of dark, wet sand look. So if we want to sort of have any trees and stuff out further, what we're going to have to do is create a little rise here, and we can use a rock as a drop off. But wait, what? Hit terrain. Hit raise and lower. Actually, no. Hit retrain set height. Why would we use raise and lower? That's a dangerous tool to use. Retrain set height. Use it from the sand, the dry sand where the footprints are, which I always thought was a little bit weird, especially on an island where there's supposed to be no other people. change the size down, change the amount slider down because it's been inherited from the smoothing tool, and then just click and hold and just brush back from the rock. What? Because the rock is going to act as a natural break in the sand. I'm going to change the size down a lot and then back it up a little bit. There we go. By pixel. Oh, captain, my captain. And then brush back across here. There we go. Good. Use the smooth tool. Crank it up a lot more. Amount quite low actually, because we want some fine control over what's happening. So we have a load of these little triangle boys and we want to get rid of them. We need to get rid of them. They look ugly. They are ugly bugly, and we do not want them on our island. So we'll brush it back. We might need to raise and brush back and raise and brush back. But we want the smoothness. In a world made up of triangles, it's one of those things that you change by degrees. There we go. So we've got a little raise here, and I'll raise the area of landing and crank the amount up all the way. Well, almost all the way. There we go. Never go all the way. Not the first time. There we go. I think that's smooth enough. Yep. So the sand comes up to the rock, and then there's a sharp drop off the other side of it. It's kind of hard to see in a 3D environment, but you know, we've got it. We've got exactly what we need. And that means that we can have an area where the tide is not going to wash away anything that is growing here, but you know, it's all logical. It's all logical. So we set up objects with closed rocks. We can bring out trees. Now that we've done this, we can start putting in things. And it just means that certain things are just going to not work in the mind of an observer. So if we take our ficus tree and we put it here, and then the tide comes in and this is being swamped, unless you're actually going for like the mangrove swamp look, then it doesn't feel right just to have it in the water. It just kind of looks like the tree's been misplaced, especially since it's a deciduous tree, and you wouldn't see that in real life without the whole thing being dead, because deciduous trees don't really like salt. There are a few that do, and you can get mangroves and mangrove swamps, but here we are going to put that in. We're going to drop it down into the sand quite a lot, and we're going to back it up against the rock. Or you see, press R, and then we can rotate it around because there is a branch and a look that we want. So the branch is out to either side. Is the look that we want. We kind of cant it over a little bit. We get it into the... I don't suppose it matters if it really goes into the rock here. It's not so much of a problem. Camera speed is a problem though. So we're going to press T to transform, and we're just going to slide it forward a little bit. Red out, blue in. There we go. And then I think probably green down. Yeah, we're just going to pull it out a little bit, because what we've got are these branches. The camera speed though. That branch out over the sand here, just over the end of the peninsula, which kind of look nice. Now we're going to hit the C button. C to clone. Did we cover cloning? I can't remember. I think we didn't. I think that was the only control we didn't look at the beginning. But we're going to press R to rotate. We're going to bring it out. We're going to rotate it around and deliberately have this branch quite low. And we can press T to transform, and then bring the red up. So it looks like the tree is split under the ground. Underground. Wait, that's a song by David Bowie. Okay. So we've got this thing going on. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Press S once. It shoots off backwards. Yeah, that's an effect of that proximity to an object. So we're going to R to rotate. And we're just going to look for a position that kind of gives some more volume to the tree, because for some reason this tree model in one direction has a lot of volume to it, in another direction it looks quite thin and kind of reedy. So that looks okay, except for this angle. You can see that the object has been cloned, so this branch and this branch, it's like, oh yeah, the whole thing's been cloned. kind of probably don't want that. So we're going to hit terrain and objects just to let go of anything here so we don't accidentally drag anything. The ficus trees we know can't be harvested, so we can put this boy in here. Oh, that's another tree piece. Yes, it is. Press T, drag him right into the ground. Press R, and then, well, I'm going to take the green and just rotate it around a bit so we can then just drag red out. A little bit more of an angle. Oh, that happens. I was waiting for that to happen. So it's now snapped onto something else, and I think that's the rock that it's snapped onto. So when we get a lot of objects together, one of the things that we're going to have a problem with is being able to select them, because for some reason it jumps from object to object. I don't think we're going to be able to select the tree again. Nope, we've got tree in the background, we've got rock. Yeah, I think we can only select 2 objects now. Which is why, who are you? You're a tree in the background. You are rock. We need to essentially get that to be the only thing that we can see. I think that's rock. Yep, that's rock. Yeah. Model, tree model. That's a big tree above us. Yeah, it is. So we can select everything except the tree that we've just put in. Excellent. Again, a list of items would be great. Nope, we're inside the rock. Can we get outside of the rock? No, we have to push ourselves through the mesh. Okay, so now we're under the island mesh, and it looks like it's kind of a nightmare world down here. Can we select that? Nope, wrong tree again. I think we're just going to have to... Oh. Nope, that's something way on the other side of the island. If we press F to focus, that's a yucca. Okay, that's kind of handy, that little F to focus, because sometimes you get into this situation. I'll tell you what, we're going to leave it. We're going to leave it because I don't think we can select that anymore without disassembling all of this. So we are going to have to leave it. It's fine. It's fine. We can move on. We can... I mean, if we desperately wanted to move that little tree, we could. That's not a problem. Disassemble everything, move it off to one side, move the object you can't select once everything's been moved away, and then move it all back in again. I don't know why I just showed you with my arms. You can't see me waving my arms around. But I refuse to do face cam. And I refuse to do other things like put a red arrow on a thumbnail, put a red circle on a thumbnail, put my stupid face on a thumbnail. Just making an O face like it's the best thing in the world that I've just seen. Nope, can't do it. I can't do it. I have a little bit more integrity than that. So Kura, I think what we want is a little fruit tree, like a koala. So we'll put this in here. Now, hopefully this is going to be far enough away from all the other objects that's not going to have too much of an effect on it. So press T and just drag it down into the ground. I just want it to be, in the sand. So that's cool. What we could also do, because hopefully that's far enough away from the other collision meshes that you will be able to actually pick the fruit off it. Sometimes you can't. If you do test a map and you can't pick the fruit because the bush is too close to another object, just move it away a little bit. But that's one of the things you should test. Make sure all the harvestable objects are harvestable on your custom-made map. Terrain and objects. We're going to go with a nana as well, because I like the nana plant. There is no full-grown nana plant, interestingly. Is that too much? Is that too much? Have we gone full Carmen Miranda with our nana plant? I think so. The fruit hat is a little too much. Well, but we have got this kind of awkward sort of shelf thing going on here, and I want to put a shrub over it. So, Roman, maybe this will work quite well. We can jam that into the ground. Yeah, I think that's going to work a little better. The leaves can come out over the sand, so we'll put that in. Rudder rotate. Hopefully, it won't snap onto a different object. Just rotate it around so the leaves aren't totally clipped into something. Nope, it snapped onto another object. Oh, we've got it back. Okay, cool. First world problems, but it is a thing that exists. It's not so bad here, the edge of that leaf. I don't mind that so much. I don't think we can select anything else now. Oh, no, the object is... okay. Nope, well, we had it. Ah, excellent. Because I was like, oh, that leaf is right in the thing. It's messing up the pudding. Oh, okay, well, we'll rotate it a bit more, but then I think this leaf is going to start clipping into the tree. So, T to transform. Grab the blue. Let's move it out. This is kind of a tight fit. It is a tight fit. Why would we do this to ourselves? Don't know. The tip of this leaf is kind of in the rock, and I don't like that. So, oh no, that's definitely beansed it. Definitely beansed it. Beam team, guys, come on. I want an object list. T. Okay, that looks good. That's fine. I think everything is now not obviously clipped into anything. Yeah, that's fine. And the base of the plant is in the sand. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And that kind of covers that little ridge of sand that we had, because it looks stupid. It looked a little bit weird. You don't want the leaves clipped into something. It's just like, well, it just kind of... I mean, this isn't Oblivion. We're not up for having bugs on our island. Do we want a bush here? I think it would be too much. Oof, too much. Yeah, it's too much. But we can add some items. Now, harvestable objects. Are they in here, or are they going to be in... Ooh, I can't remember. It's been so long since we've gone with harvestable objects. It was... No, why are we looking at structures again? Oh, because we never closed the structures item. PP plant. So we do have the palm fronds, PP plants, sticks and stuff all in plants. What? Here we are. Tire pile, stick. Yep. Scrap plank. It's got to be here somewhere. Flashing leather. Flare guns. Crude spear. Nope. I can't even remember what it's called, but that's not a problem. What we can do, click on here. Boom. There we go. Press C to clone. I'm like, where is this item in the frickin' world? I can't remember. It's a driftwood pile. Thank you, brain. You were like, I'm just thinking about it. So we got duct tape. It's not going to be in the items. Not going to be on structures. Driftwood pile. Right, it's under plants. Fine. So now we can just make sure that's selected and delete it. So we could have cloned it and just dragged it over. It would have taken a long time. It's like, brain, you and I need to work together. Yeah? Well, what's it called? Oh, I don't know. It's a driftwood pile. So we could throw that here. Bonk. Yep, done. So there's wood that you can harvest there. There's a little bit of fruit. I like it. I like it a lot. We got some rocks. There are some things that we will need to put on the island at some point, as we just kind of, as an aside, shoot back over to the shipwreck. The shipwreck? Yeah, I still think this needs to be rotated a little bit more, but who knows. When we go back to structures, there are some new structures since last time we created an island, and there are shelters. So there are shelters. Oop, we are under the mesh. I love the speed of the camera and the way that you have no control over it. But there's also the old crew. This is something that I wanted for a long time. The ability to have like members of a shipwrecked crew just kind of on the island. And it's just like, oh, hello, I'm Jeff. I'll be your date for tonight. I don't know. But yeah, so we've got the old... that box is kind of quite high up. Why is that box floating? Is that connected to anything? Is that a physics object? Oh, as he moves the camera around. I'm not entirely sure why that is up there. Huh. Interesting. I was going to delete that. I want to delete that. Make sure... Oh, make sure... Click on an object. Click on an object. Oh, we need object selected. we need to, there we go, click on the buttons again because it's, and just move the camera left and right so you're actually not selected something in the background because that would be tragic. So what we're going to do, if we come back over here, and we can have a look at the shelters just quickly. So we've got some quite sophisticated ones. Where's that object again? I'm figuring this is probably a physics object that sort of drops down. Another crew member. Hello, I'm dead. Yep. Well, I'm not. Get rid of you. That was the one that we were looking at originally. No, was it? No, that's a different boat. So that's a different style of the same boat-based shelter. Hello. It's glorious weather today. What? Yep. So you can just drag these in. We'll get rid of that. I wonder if there's one with more than one skelly bob. An actual sophisticated non-marine shelter with deadmen. Excellent. I kind of like that. So the non-marine being that you don't have the little lifeboats. Yeah, I suppose you can have a few. Another deadman. Hello, I'm just getting a suntan. Oh, 2 deadmans. All right, so you would need, with this one, you would need to make sure the back of the shelter is actually touching the ground. And there's also a rock there. So it's quite a sophisticated little design. But yeah, you would need to make sure the back is actually in the ground and then the front is lifted up so that your deadman at the front is visible. Interesting. Excellent. We're going to go through all the shelters. Why not? Why not? We haven't got time. So we've got this here, which is another dead boy. Kind of a less sophisticated shelter. We have a shelter without a dead boy? Say it ain't so. So it's basically the same one as before, but collapsed. Oh, we've only got two left. That's fine. So we got this one. Oh, I like that one. Oh, I really do, yeah. That's nice. So that kind of goes into the floor a little bit. Yeah, no, that's nice. That's a nice little boat-based shelter. And then shelter 9. Super sophisticated. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yep, no deadman here. So if you wanted a few shelters without the deadmans, then that's kind of neat. The only downside to putting a bunch of shelters on an island is I don't think it counts as a shelter for the player. So you can put items around there, like physics objects and stuff, maybe cans of food and things, but the player won't be able to use it as a shelter. Or will they? Now, that's an interesting question, because I don't, does it give you an SPF rating to be in shadow? Yeah, I think the SPF ratings are now just shadow, so maybe you could. Who knows? Yeah, why don't you guys can find out. It's fine. So we have this here. We do have kind of a weird trench thing going on here. I'm kind of cool with that. I don't mind that so much. What we need to do is kind of carry on here. So, objects. Nope, we can collapse structures. We can get some more rocks out. So what we're going to do is focus on the natural part of the island, basically, and then really get this thing all naturaled up, and then we can start focusing on what happened to the crew, and then we can add all the little structures and little effects on the island. That was always the plan. Always the plan. So, more rocks? I think so. We've got a rock over there. What we can do is drag this down into the sand. Nice. You still have a huge area of sand over here, but it just means that you kind of blank off this area and you can add more trees and shrubs and things with terrain and objects. And we will... Ooh, more trees. There we go. Palms and pines. Well, we need... we can collapse the rock. Yeah, I think we can collapse everything we don't need. Well, except for that. There we go. So pines and palms. We need palm trees, I think. That'd be a good idea. A good idea. Because they are quite useful as a source of... Now, do we want that there? Or do we want it over here? I think that would be a better idea to have it there. And we can do something on the other side as well. Palm 2? probably a good idea to have another one. To rotate, because otherwise the leaves are going to be in the same direction. It's essentially the same model with just extra log sections. So the tops are the same. Excellent. And then can we just jam another ficus tree and train objects so we don't have anything selected? Not a big one. I want the little one. Actually, that's kind of a cool angle, I think. We'll bring it up a little bit so that it's trying to grow away from the palm trees. What words are you using? I don't know. Try and use your big boy words. So normally a tree would grow up, except if it's in shadow, in which case it would grow out away from whatever happens to be there. Excellent, excellent, excellent. T to transform, bring him in closer to the rock. So in this instance, it's going to try and grow away from the large ficus tree, and it's going to try and grow away from the palm trees. So we can have that down. Can we add our nana in now? Ooh, excellent, banana plant. Well, we're going to hit train objects, so we got nothing selected, and then bring the nana in. I think that's a good look. It is a good look. Is it a good look? No, it's a good look. Everything seems fine, nothing's clipped except for that leaf, which is now going to be a bit of a pain in the butt. There we go. Now that's not clipped. But the base of it is. No, the base is fine. We will not worry about the base in this instance, because if we worried about it, then we would, well, we'd drive ourselves crazy. Close trees, hit terrain objects, make sure we got something selected in terms of rocky boys. And we could probably leave that up a little bit. The trouble is that now we kind of blank off this area of water. It's not so much of a problem if we bring it back a little bit. Not so much of a problem. I don't think it's... I mean, it provides something nice to stand on when you're looking out to sea. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think it's going to be okay. So we will go back to trees. So we'll collapse rocks, bring up trees, hit terrain objects. We have nothing selected, and then we can. We've got the sermons, so we will throw one of these in. Hopefully, we throw it in there. Do we need to bring it back a bit? I think we need to bring it back a bit, because otherwise the leaves are going to clip, and I don't want that. That's not a good look. Drop that down. So what we're doing is breaking up the line of the rock with some green and some yellow. Pro tip, if you are taking photographs of the countryside and you're thinking, I'd like to add a little bit more color to my trees in Raw Therapy or in Photoshop or in Lightroom, what color should I add? Yellow. What? But the trees are green. Yeah, they're mostly yellow. What? Yep, trust me. If you could ramp any single channel to make your trees pop, would it be blue? No, because you get that blue halo around the outside of your trees. Would it be green? No, because the green is very much in the center of the leaves. Would it be yellow? Yep, because camera speed. Because mostly what happens is the sun shines through the leaves and picks up a lot of yellow, which is the single channel that makes has the most effect over any natural and outdoor shot. Then followed by blue, and then followed by everything else. So cool, we've got that there. I'm liking it. It's looking good. It doesn't block anything. It doesn't stop the player from running across the rock. It doesn't stop the player from running through here. It kind of gives you a nice little feel. It's not too jammed up in there. You've got some resources, which means the player can come and explore and grab some bits and pieces. It's looking fine. I think we're okay there. Yeah, I think we're absolutely okay. So what we've done is we've just added to the end of the island just a little bit of greenery, and we haven't blocked off this beach. So you can still run around as much as you ever would if you wanted to put a little camp in there, campfire and stuff. That'd be quite nice. But otherwise, yeah, it's It's a nice addition to what is... It's a slow build, I'm going to be honest. But then we're kind of building half an hour at a time. And we're taking it casual. We're taking it careful. We're spending time over the little things. So as a whole, the big thing is very, very detailed and interesting. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Well, I'm going to leave it there for the time being. So, if you're liking this, definitely leave a little like, leave a subscribe. And if you do subscribe, click the little bell because that'll give you notifications when videos go live. And I tell you what, I'll catch you next time.